It's been 10 years since that night, but it still feels like yesterday. I can still hear the static hum of the drive-in speakers and see the dull glow of the screen fading as we left after watching Gone Girl. It was close to midnight, and I was behind the wheel. Tuesdays were perfect for us because the movies were only $5, and I always had Wednesdays off. My ex, Josh, was asleep in the passenger seat. Just a quiet, uneventful night, or so I thought. I merged onto the freeway, tired but ready to get home. The road was empty, except for a semi-truck lumbering in the right lane ahead of me. I clicked on my blinker, moved to the left, and passed it easily. It was quiet, too quiet. The kind of quiet that feels like it's holding its breath. Then, out of nowhere, a white truck appeared behind me, its headlights blazing in my rearview mirror. They were so bright, I had to squint. He was right on my bumper, and my first thought was, did I cut him off? But I was sure I hadn't seen anyone when I merged. The freeway had been practically deserted. I passed the semi and moved back to the right, hoping he'd go around. I waited for the truck to zoom past, maybe flip me off and be done with it. But no, he didn't pass. Instead, he filled the tiny gap between me and the semi, tailgating me harder now, flashing his brights, almost blinding me. My heart started to race, but I told myself it was just some jerk trying to prove a point. 3 whole lanes to the left, and he didn't use any of them. I switched lanes again, no signal this time, just trying to shake him. But every time I moved, he followed. Left, right, it didn't matter. His truck swerved behind me like a predator. I tried to keep calm, but my hands were shaking. My foot pressed down on the gas, and the speedometer climbed to 90. He matched me, sticking to my bumper like a shadow. "Babe, I think we're being followed," I finally said, nudging Josh awake. He blinked, rubbing his eyes as he sat up.
"What?"
He looked behind us, and his face went pale. The truck was still there, tailgating us, flashing its lights. "Call the police," I told him, my voice barely steady. "Call them now." But he didn't. He just watched, his eyes glued to the rearview mirror. My exit wasn't for another few miles, and the thought of leading this maniac back to where we lived made my stomach twist. I needed to get away from him, now. Up ahead, I spotted an exit to another freeway. Without thinking, I yanked the wheel and swerved toward it, tires screeching as we narrowly missed a concrete pillar. My heart was in my throat. For a split second, I glanced over at the truck. The driver, he was looking straight at us. I couldn't see his face clearly, but I felt his eyes on me. Cold, empty, predatory. Josh saw it too. His grip on the armrest tightened, and he didn't say a word. I was sobbing by the time we reached a gas station, pulling into the bright, fluorescent light, like it was some kind of sanctuary. I couldn't drive anymore. I was shaking too much. Josh didn't argue. He just switched seats with me, and we sat there for a few minutes while I tried to catch my breath. When we finally got home, the tension started to fade, but not by much. We talked about it. About the truck, the chase, the way the driver stared at us. Josh was quiet for a moment, his face clouded with something I hadn't seen before. Fear. Then he looked at me, his voice barely above a whisper.
"Babe, he had a gun."
I froze. What?
"When we pulled off when you swerved onto the exit, he had a gun pointed at us."
I didn't know what to say. My blood ran cold. All this time, I thought it was just some psycho trying to scare us, maybe run us off the road. But no, this guy, he had a plan. The scariest part, I don't know what we did to set him off. The night had been so ordinary. A movie, a drive home. Nothing unusual. We hadn't cut anyone off. We hadn't talked to anyone. It felt like he had just chosen us. Maybe it was random. Maybe it wasn't. I'll never know. But one thing's for sure. Whoever you are, the man in the white truck, let's never meet again.
Stories may end, but the fear remains. Subscribe to uncover more secrets hidden in the darkness. Until we meet again in the world of nightmarish shadows.